everybody. Welcome to Fibro Fri-Yay. I appreciate you coming. My son is suddenly bouncing off the walls, of course, as soon as I start this. I had to actually also get out my old pair of my old headset, because the other one was not working. If you'll give me just 1 second. Sorry about that. I couldn't think straight. Hey, Bud Files, welcome in. I want to thank Hedgehog's Homestead for being one of the first ones in. And then Moon over Miami popped in, and the Bud Files so far. Anyway, my name is Carol. I am your host, S. And this morning, we were goofing off on Miss T with the tea, and we had a great time. And everybody's got, lives going on Friday. So I understand that some people can make mine, some people can't. But if you're catching the replay, I appreciate you. Just remember to hit the like, leave me a comment, and please make sure you're subscribed. I'm very close to that 1,000 subscribers, and perhaps I'll do a giveaway when I get there. And I really appreciate you. And I so appreciate the people who can actually make my lives when it's live. Today, I was going to talk about hormone replacement for women who are needing that, and just my experience with perimenopause to menopause. Hey, Abe. Hey, Hedgehog, welcome back. And just how I am experiencing switching over to what they call bioidentical hormones, and what they are doing for me, and what they've done so far. I have had fibromyalgia for the last 10 years, and that includes chronic pain, fatigue, migraines. It can attack your bladder, all kinds of fun stuff. The thing is menopause can do the same things. A lot of what women experience with fibromyalgia is almost parallel to what they experience going through perimenopause to menopause. So I was really getting more and more curious about that. And I knew my adrenals were shot from stress. Hold on, I'm just putting on a little lipstick. My lips are dry. From all the stress that I had been through with family deaths and just difficulty in getting to the family. And then also we were fostering my son, and his family's case was very difficult. So what happens is when you are losing your hormones, what you need is your adrenal glands to kick in and support you. And if you are so stressed out and you have so much cortisol just flowing through you, you're going to have some crashes. And that's what was happening to me, is my body was just wearing out. It was just completely wearing out. And when you're starting your morning with a cup of coffee, it's kickstarting your cortisol right away. That's why you get that like quick pick me up. It's actually your cortisol. So I have actually cut down my coffee to the most two, but not daily. I will not do 2 black coffees a day. It's just too much. I now do not put sugar in my coffee. I do not use dairy in my coffee. If you don't know this by now, if you're drinking dairy and you enjoy it, well, go right ahead. But if you are a female in perimenopause or menopause, dairy is cow's breast milk. So you're drinking, mama milk, but it's from a cow. So, of course, there's hormones in it, just like they get Primarian cream for women, menstrual cream for women from Primarian, that name. It was from mare urine. So you were getting the hormones from the mare for, that cream. Yay! So the same thing applies. It's just coming through the breast of a cow. Hey, God's desire for me. Yeah, and you're getting that mucus. That's right. Blech. That's right, David Corey. The cow mucus, because they over milk a lot of those cows often in commercial uh, milking industry or dairy industry. So what I did not want was I did not want to use Primarian. I didn't like the idea that even though it was from, a horse, it's, kind of close, kind of bioidentical. A lot of the bioidentical, the only problem we're having now is because they're a lot plant based and synthesized. It's still synthesized in a lab. So it still is created in a lab and it still needs more testing. But the ones that were tested were the synthetic. And that was exactly what my doctor gave to me when I was having horrible migraines. Hey! Oh, how nice. I love doing that. I'm glad you can make it, Shawnee. I love doing that. Thanks for coming in. So I actually saw a more naturopath in the OBGYN practice that I was going to. I left. This was really bad, and I should have known not to do this. My OBGYN did not have that leaning towards the natural, but a new OBGYN had come on and she did. And I wanted to use the bioidentical hormones if I used hormones. At the time, though, I just wanted my hormones tested because we were trying to see if we could have a later in life baby, but it didn't end up happening. And all the OBGYN wanted to give me was a pill to, it basically increases your egg production, which can get really hairy because you can suddenly have 5 embryos that, you know, stick to your uterus and you've got 5 babies to bring to term. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that pill. I was like, yeah, no, 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 no. And then and of course, if it went ectopic, I didn't want to lose, fallopian tubes or anything like that in the process. So I went to the natural OBGYN and she was like, well, you have to come in at this time. When you get your period, you got to come in and then we test you and we see where your hormone levels are at. And then we'll see if we can adjust your hormones. Well, don't you know that the timing never worked out? When my period would arrive, it would never be in time where I could get in and get the test. So it just wasn't meant to be. We were meant to have Malachi and yeah, that just wasn't meant to be. Well, my OBGYN, who was not the natural one, I didn't realize can hold a grudge. So when I went back to her after we were already like fostering Malachi, oh, hey, M&T Living. Hey, WD Glock and Roll. Hey, Crooked Peach. Thank you guys for coming in. When I went back to her, she was like, negating when I was telling her I was having these horrible migraines. And my migraines had started, I thought, from stress. What they were was hormonal perimenopausal migraine. And my doctor thought they were fibro. It was with my fibromyalgia. And they could have been both. They could have been hormone and they could have been with the fibromyalgia. But she let me suffer. She let me suffer for at least 2 visits prior to saying, okay, well, what I can give you, because I told her, I said, they're happening and they're way, way worse. Like it felt like something wanted to birth itself out of my head right around my cycle. She finally was like, well, we can put you on progesterone. And I didn't really read about it. I was just in so much pain monthly, like I was so sick that I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And up until that point, I had tried, natural methods. I had tried my diet. I had tried all kinds of things to beat these migraines. And nothing was working. The magnesium, the soaking in, I found out that I can't soak in Epsom salts because it's a sulfate. And I'm very, very sensitive to sulfates. So, yeah, I took it. It was not until recently, after reading about the study and listening to doctors talk about the hormonal study that was done when they took women off HRT, like I think I had told you guys maybe a week before or prior to that when men, oh, let me take a sip of this. Hey, Ann, welcome in. Oh, hey, Storms, welcome in. The same time that that heart pill came out, the little blue one for men, the study came out that said HRT leads to cancer for women. So men were um, getting nice and ready for sex, and poor women were having their moisture removed because they had HRT ripped away from them. So any woman who was in menopause or perimenopause, these poor girls were just told, you know, use a little more lube. Well, that doesn't help when it's atrophying, thinning. It's horrible what happens to a woman down there during peri and menopause. It really is. And a lot of marriages end in divorce during those years. It is unbelievable how many do, because of the difficulties that arise in the bedroom and women not being like they're being given antidepressants, which dry you up more, which make it, sex even much worse because then you don't have any desire and your desire is dwindling anyway. Like if menopause happened to men and their scrotum dried up like little raisins, we would already have a cure for menopause. Sorry, guys, but it's so true. In the medical industry, they would have taken care of it. Yeah, I don't want to be putting no castor oil up my hoo ha. David Corey. I have heard that though. I've heard coconut oil too. Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm. Though, yeah. So I had explained that before. So men had gotten the little blue pill, women had gotten nothing. It had gotten taken away. And as they did more studying about what happened in that study, it was, they didn't really know the condition of all the women as far as health. They had taken older women, so they were already possibly primed for cancers in other ways. Like, we don't know if we had all non smokers, we don't know what their lifestyle was really like. Place them on these hormones. And what ended up happening was the hormone that my doctor put me on, progestin, a synthetic progesterone, does help with the headaches. However, it does put you into menopause faster because it unbalances your estrogen that much faster. Oh, I've done that. The Ayurvedic, putting it in your navel. Yeah, I ain't drinking it. I've done that too when I was pregnant, David Corey, and that was hell. That was hell. Hell. Yeah, not yeah. That's exactly it. God's desire for me. Yeah, no. Um, Yeah, don't yeah, I've used it on my face and everything. Yeah, the changes, the antidepressants, and they don't really know how they work, Crooked Peach. I'm sure you've looked that up, that they're really not sure how they work. They just do. And I'm not saying anything against if you are on an antidepressant. I am not a doctor. This is just what happened with me and getting bioidentical hormones. So lo and behold, I'm still feeling like garbage. And I found out that progestins led to breast cancer. It was the progestins, it was not the estrogen. So hold on one second. Sorry, my son is all worked up today. Right before this, he had my hose outside while I was picking mulberries, and yeah, he made himself a mud puddle. Yeah, lickety split. That's why it's very hard for me to shoot any kind of videos. But back to the story. The ones that received estrogen and had a uterus ended up with uterine cancer, or, cancer down there. The ones who just received progesterone without estrogen uh, got breast cancer. But again, older females, we don't know what their life primed them for. So it's still kind of a very long study, but it's still a little bit unclear as far as, was it just those synthetic hormones that did it to these women? Or was it their lifestyle? Or was it, genetics? We don't perfectly know that. However, when I found out that it was due, breast cancer, I don't have I've gotten the genetic test. I don't have the genetic disposition for breast cancer, but most women don't who get it. So, I started really thinking about and praying about more and more, like, okay, these natural hormones, bioidentical hormones, maybe I should think about them, considering the fibro pain and the menopausal pain are running parallel and on top of each other. Hey, Bob, welcome in. Storms, it's in my title. This is my experience with that. It's part of Fibro Fri-Yay, because for people who, women especially, and even men, I'll hit on men's stuff too in a few minutes. So with it kind of running parallel and on top of one another, the pain, the stiffness, the fatigue, lack of desire, I was like, I've got to try something because I can't keep living in this hell. I'm only, at the time, I'm 53. Like, can't live this hell for the rest of my life. I feel like I'm trapped in an 80-year-old body. So we are going to have our regular doctor visit at the end of this month. We have been waiting 4 months to see a doctor because of the insurance stuff going on in the US. And for those of you who have seen an OBGYN in the years prior, there are now menopausal specialists, perimenopausal, menopausal specialists online. So the first one I contacted, because I wasn't ready to go off the progestin yet. I didn't know, about that situation yet, was and I'll put it up here for the women. This is the company. It was called Interlude. And these are the different boxes, but it is the bioidentical estrogen for putting in your, and that is to reestablish the tissues down there that do become dried out, that do start to atrophy, that do become thin. And then, men are wondering why suddenly, hey, I got the little blue pill and my wife is not into it. Yeah. Yeah, I have to be careful with the black cohosh. I'm glad you at least said that you're no doctor. I did try a lot of the natural remedies, some of them, but I do want to try the black cumin. So thank you for mentioning that. And I didn't know about the fennel, so I'll look into that. Yep. Shawnee, you can, the other company I use is a different company for what comes next. And I have to tell you, I'm so mad. Like, I am so happy with what is going on now with me, but I am so mad at the medical industry and what they've done to women and what they have put us through when we need more strength, more power, more endurance, and we need our relationships to be working at this age when many of us are becoming grandmas and we might be helping, our children watch after their little ones, whatever. I just became like an older mom. Yeah, I'm mad. So I contacted this company, all my stuff lined up, got some of that, and it was like, wow. Okay. Because, all right, guys, this may be all too TMI for you, but this is for my women out there. When we pee, when we walk, whatever we do, you get to a certain age during that menopausal journey where it can just burn for no reason down there. You can get UTIs like lickety split. It is no fun down there like it used to be. And I am so angry with my doctor, who did not warn me that this was coming, who did not make suggestions and give me like different data to look at. Um, the lickety split get you in, get you out is not serving the populations well, but especially not serving women and couples in this time of their life. So starting on that, things started to get better down there. And I didn't have the pain. I wasn't getting the UTIs. I still don't take baths, though. I'm a little bit leery of those because I was getting UTIs very easily with baths. So I thought, you know what? If this is working so well and things are returning to kind of normal down there, wonder what, the hormones are like that are bioidentical that I would ingest. I wonder what it would do for me. Because I had been trying diet and you all saw me. I was like, let me try keto. Let me try carnivore. Both put me in extreme pain. Later on found out it's because I probably have a form of gout, a gouty arthritis, inherited. My dad had it. So I was kind of beside myself. I'm like, okay, I'm trying everything. Sugar did help. Getting off sugar helped. Although last night I had a tablespoon of semi-sweet chocolate chips. It was my first real sugar in a month. I haven't had sugar in a month. And I'm not going to really, maybe like in moderation for celebrations, I might have a little, but I don't like coming off of it. Hi, Stephanie Joe Roundtree. Oh, so yeah, Crooked Peach, then you understand. You're blessed, God's desire for me. That is God watching over you because there are some women like you who are blessed like that, except for the hysterectomy part. That's some rough stuff. Some women do not have issues. They are fine going through the change. Other women, not so fine. They have the hormonal, like I said, mine too is my adrenal glands and everything. And that's like next week, hopefully, I'll be able to talk about endocrine disruptors and how our hormones are all disrupted due to what's in the environment, what's in our food, even in our clothing. And it's setting off everybody's hormones, even men. I came upon something that was really interesting and such a weird statistic. I can't wait to share it with you next week. So as I was wondering, I took a test online on another website. I believe it's Alloy is who I use. I'm not positive, so don't quote me. And these aren't necessarily the websites I'm plugging. It's just who I used. I'm still journeying with them. I am not putting them out there and saying, hey, go use them. You do you. We all are different petri dishes. We all have different diets. We all have different stress levels. We all have different genetics. For me, though, I got a consultation. First, she wanted to put me on the patch for the estrogen, the natural estrogen, which is estradiol, I think is how you say it. And I said, I'd rather do the pill. I want a little bit more control. I've had migraines. I don't want a patch and it just absorbs how it absorbs. And I don't really know how it's absorbing or how much like my body is, pulling from it. She was fine with that. This particular one, they give you the progesterone with your estrogen for free. They had the deal. So it gets here. And I am not lying to you, ladies. Within the first week of taking it, I got off the progestin and didn't even notice the difference. Seriously, my body did not even notice the difference as far as me going off of it, which I had not been able to do. I had tried to get off of progestin and my migraines came back. I have not had my migraines come back. And that was recently. I had tried to get off the progestin when I was doing the different diets and trying to figure out what would be good for my body so I don't continue to get the meno belly and all that other than exercise, I had relief from the overwhelming fatigue. I had relief from, I would say, 70% of the pain I was in every single day. Doesn't mean I'm not in pain. I still have to be careful. Like just even working out with my little 8-pound weight. I was telling a friend, I'm like, so sore. I'm trying to figure out what I ate. I forgot I had worked out. I had started working out. But it has done amazing. Like, I feel younger again. I don't feel like I'm trapped in an 80-year-old's body. Now, I still have to do more research as far as how is this, affecting other women. I still have to go and get my scans, and that's, coming up to check for anything, that it might inflame because they are hormones. But I'm angry that this option was not put out there sooner. Hey, 49 more to help me, you know, to help other women. Hey, welcome in our treasured home. Yeah, you're fortunate, Steph. I know always get these people in my side chat that don't have no problems. But then there's other people who listen to me later on and they thank me because they do. And that's, you know, I might talk about something else that you did have a problem with or that you did great with and you have advice for me. Great. That's what we're here to do is help one another. And that's all I'm trying to do for the women who are like me, who were told it's fibro, that it's all pain. That pain, that exhaustion is, oh, that's just fibro, or you're just depressed. No, honey. If you're in perimenopause or menopause, it's your hormones probably. It's your hormones or your stress levels or both. And I was not told. I was not told. And I am so like, what the heck? How long have these doctors known about this? And I had to find out, you have to be your own advocate, anyway. But to have to actually seek out, like, hey, let me try this and see if it'll help. It came at just the right time, too, because my daughter just started a new job. I would not have been able to flip my schedule because mornings, if you have any kind of fibro or autoimmune, getting up in the morning, if you have that morning stiffness, even arthritis, is so bad in the morning after you've been sleeping in your bed for a few hours. Got you. Yeah. There's some people that won't take them, and I get that. That's why I'm using the bioidentical. I don't like necessarily taking pills, but I would rather be on bioidentical and wean myself off the other medications that I had to take, or I would not be out of bed. Because everybody's pain levels are different, and my brain was going haywire, and it was keeping me bedbound. And there's other people that has happened to. Exactly, God's desire for me. They are practicing medicine. They ain't got it right yet. Exactly. Yeah, and well, there's also, the patch and stuff. And there's some people, yeah, that they don't have to. Exactly. You do you. Exactly. Thank you. Mm. We could use some rain here too, David Corey. But then when it comes, then we're like, okay, now that's good. We're done. But anyway, that was my piece about if you are not being told about the bioidenticals by your practitioner, find a practitioner that knows about them, will talk to you about them. Or if you are keeping up with your practitioner offline, you might try some of these peri and menopausal specialists that are doctors. They're not doctors, and look into it that way, because we shouldn't suffer just because our access is very difficult to come by to a doctor that actually gives a crap about us, you know. And I get it. They are overwhelmed in the way things are, and they've got like a revolving door. But you get like one of those good doctors, and you're like, why can't they all be like this? Yeah. Well, that's what I've done too. And I did that for a long time. I was on an elimination diet for years, but the migraines still arrived And some of that too is, like I said, the stress. It was the stress. And I am not like advocating everybody take pills now. I am speaking to that particular woman who's on maybe the synthetics and is still feeling like crap. And it might be an option for you, and you might want to pair it with the stuff for your hoo ha for a little bit to just get things to, um, how would you say it? Not be atrophying, not be just like dying. That's the other thing too, is when we lose our estrogen, we lose bone density. We get a higher risk of cardiovascular. Like they talk about, oh, well, you have cardiovascular. You could with, HRT. Hey, guess what? When you don't have your hormones, you have them anyway, and stroke, and blood clots, and all the other stuff because you age faster. Those are it's like a protection around you. Yeah, it feels like they are like TV weathermen, like they're making it up as they go. Yeah, yeah, does feel like that. It does feel like that. That's for sure. The thing is, too, is like we talk about like, oh, I try herbal and I try that. That's great, but guess what? Plants can be dangerous too. There's plenty of poisonous plants out there, so you also need to know how much is right for your body while you're doing herbs, and how you are doing the delivery of those herbs. And if you're relying on supplements that are in the store, check the fillers that they're putting in their pills. Yeah, so many don't care to find the problem. You're right. They don't want to find. They want to just give you something for those, uh, like it, pain. Oh, you have pain here. Here's an oxy. Not that they give those out so readily anymore, but you know what I mean. Here's a pain pill. They don't want to find out why you're in pain. Hey, Mrs. Kirkland, welcome in. Mrs. Kirkland likes good food. I like good food too. That's the other thing too, is I'm hoping with the natural hormones that my metabolism will also slowly crawl back, because I mean, we're bound to age, we're bound to, our weight shifts around, but I have never been a big person. Oh, which company, Shawnee? The one, the interlude one? I can type them both in. Two companies that I know of. This interlude, I believe, is one. And I think it's called Alloy. I'll have to check. I can always I can send it to you, message it to you. But I think these are the two. I wasn't really going to give them out, but yeah, I think we got to help each other because it's really hard to get help. It is. It's very hard to find the right one. You're right, David Corey. That's right. Not all of them are in it for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And some were put into it too by pushy mamas wanting them to just be doctors, and they hate being a doctor because maybe they're just not people and they should be over in a lab doing, lab stuff. Because that's those doctors that are super smart, but then they don't have any bedside manner. A lot of them are actually on the spectrum, and they would do better in a lab and finding cures for us that way rather than doing the one-on-one and saying terrible things to us because they don't have social skills in the office. So that was my quick, easy peasy. That's what's going on with me. I'm even sitting like crisscross applesauce right now. I do that on my lives and I get super stiff sometimes at night, but I'm finding I'm just not as stiff, not as sore. I do feel the weakness that I need to address because that's another thing through perimenopause and menopause. We go through atrophy of our muscles. And this whole thing with trying to lose weight with Ozempic, I know you guys have seen the thing on YouTube. It does not discriminate what tissue it is taking away from you to get you to lose weight. Oh, that's awful. Oh my, Anne. Is it endometriosis by chance? You don't have to say, but we have a daughter who had to actually do IVF because she had bad endometriosis. Yeah, some of them are super smart, but then very cocky. Exactly. Oh, you poor thing. Yeah, she went through hell in those years. She went through hell in those years. She was in so much pain one time. She was away from home, and we got a call because she, when she wasn't away from home, she was living with Theron's ex, her mom, and she had somehow done the same thing. She had fainted, but fainted into the corner of a wall. It's so scary. She was fine though, thankfully. But yeah, it's really, really rough. But anyway, I'm open for questions or, concerns, or if you have concerns for me, I appreciate that. That it's just opening up the conversation to let women know, hey, this did work. Hey, if you feel trapped in what you are in now with the synthetic hormones, hey, Michelle, that there are other options. That there are other options. Now, for people who have hormonal based cancers, this is probably not even an option for you. You're going to have to, you know, do like what David Corey said, you know, go after it with various different healthy, um, you know, anti-inflammatories and things like that, and natural lubricants. But just the natural lubricants were not doing it for me. I fainted every month, and some doctors even referred me that. Yeah, don't you love that? You know why? Because even when we were having heart attacks, they thought we were just, we needed a psychologist. Yeah, yeah. Women's health was a slow going process. Oh, you poor thing, God's desire for me. I'm just amazed that you don't have any kind of hormonal stuff, but maybe because your hormonal stuff was so hellacious before that now anything is just mild in comparison. But I will address, like, with what I had heard about men and who need that testosterone boost, they will often give men creams. Please do not get the creams. Get the injection if you have a family, because your children or grandchildren might come in contact with that cream. Your wife might lay down in the bed in the area where that cream rubs off. Try the bioidentical injection so nobody else is being exposed to it who doesn't need to be exposed to the testosterone. Oh, that's so terrible that it wasn't. Oh my goodness, you poor women. Yeah, and see that the doctor that gave me progestin, when I finally was like, "Can you please help me with these migraines? Can you please do something with me or for me? Because I can't go through another month with this pain." Because it was to the point where, too, I would like, not pass out. I'd be in the bathroom throwing up, and I couldn't see, and I'd be, the Advils that I was having to take just to survive those times of the month. Um, were wearing away my stomach lining or causing leaky gut. And that's a thing I'm healing now, thankfully. Right? You do almost start to believe them, and because they tell you, because they're the professionals. Yeah. It's totally not cool at all that they do that to us. And they don't just do it to women, they'll do it to men too. I didn't make, but women, there's a history there. They used to call it hysteria when we were sick. Yeah. When we would have something really wrong with us and we needed medical care, it was hysteria. Oh, wow. Wow. There you go. Schedule a time when you're having one of your episodes right at the doctor's office where you might have a possible episode. Yeah, my doctor was like, "Well, I thought you wanted to do it all naturally." And she just kind of smirked, and I was like, This was the one because I went to the natural OBGYN and then came back to her. I was like, yeah, I'm I'm pretty much done with you. I'm going to find a new OBGYN because you just treated me with malice, basically, or you didn't treat me because of your jealousy that I went to a different doctor to try and get uh, help that you weren't providing. Yeah, you remember that word too, the hysteria. Yeah, interesting history. Interesting. But I still can't get over that I could switch from progestin to the progesterone um, and have like no uh, migraines. None. I was just shocked because I had been trying to get off progestin without the progesterone for a long time because I didn't like that. His last name should be smart. Hilarious. It's a bit misleading. Funny, Barry. Oh my goodness. But I was gonna, open the live up for a little bit, and then I've got to go. Had to do a little extra with the dirty clothes after my little mud puddle maker, which would have been fine if I knew we were doing mud puddle and put him in a bathing suit and he could have went to town. But I had no clue. I just turned around and there he was. He was in his little gardening boots and his PJs. Like we just threw on the gardening boots so I could go grab some mulberries, which I have here. And I'm instead of freezing this batch, I'm eating them loaded with antioxidants. That's sad. Oh, and that's terrible. And they haven't, it's not diet. Have they tested? I know this is weird, but have they tested his migraines? I mean, his hormones and endocrine system? Like, has he seen an endocrinologist? Oh my goodness, all those years. How have they not found a thing? Your poor son. That's awful. And it's so scary too, because the tests for the migraines are just as scary as having the migraines themselves. The high contrast dye in your brain that doesn't always leave it, sometimes stays. Yeah, I bet they tested a lot of things. It can be as simple though as like they in the medical, how do you say this? Functional medicine knows that food sensitivities are just as serious sometimes as allergic, like mild allergic reactions, because they are that. They're a mild allergic reaction, but your mild allergic reaction could be headaches. Oh gosh, I love that. Oh, it's genetic, but we don't know why. It must be genetic. It's more like it because we don't know why. Hey, Bayou Sugar Garden, welcome in. You missed all the interesting chat on hormones. So next week, hopefully, we will talk about endocrine disruptors and yes, removing things so your hormones are not going wackadoo. Okay, so the trigger foods bother him. Yeah. Chocolate is a trigger food when you have migraines. Chocolate can be chocolate, nuts, aged cheese, wine. Uh, I'm trying to think what it's an additive. It can also be a histamine response or histamine intolerance. Mm. Yeah, it is hard. I hope it's going to be a good chat, Shawnee Shave. It's like taking a college course for me, trying to remember everything. But I need it too. I need to know about this stuff. I need to get back on the quest for a healthier home because I used to use like all natural stuff. And that was why, too, I moved towards, using Young Living and all those, the essential oils. That's another thing right off the bat. endocrine disruptors, fragrances, synthetic fragrances. Oh man, yeah, that's hard. Yes, they are stubborn. We women can be just as stubborn when it comes to food. I know I can. Um, but that's where I went looking because I kept getting those migraines and I did not want to continue to get them. So that was actually where I tackled it first because I couldn't really tackle my hormones. And my OBGYN wasn't acting as if it was my hormones that could do it. It wasn't until like I noticed, oh, that's weird. I get a migraine like a day or two before I get my period. Huh. Hmm. And when I eat certain things, I had to totally give up red wine. Chocolate, I'm still okay on. I can have some chocolate. Caffeine, I cannot have a lot of caffeine or I can get a headache. But that's also becoming dehydrated. He has to stay hydrated too. That's another one, dehydration. It's really hard. It's really hard to go after all the things. Yeah, there you go. It could be some kind of hormone imbalance. Men can have them too. Absolutely. Men can have them too. And makes a world of difference. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. And two, if you have your gallbladder taken out, it screws up your hormones too, and it screws up your fat soluble vitamins. Yay! And they didn't tell us that. They were just like, oh, it's a useless thing. You don't really need that gallbladder. Nah, it doesn't, it's not like it holds bile and helps you digest fats when they come through your system or anything like fat soluble vitamins. It doesn't help break that down so your body can, yes, it does. It does do that. Oh, so there you go. Yeah. That's right there. Yeah, gynecomastia, I think they call that. We basically call it moobs here, like men not being exposed to soy. And when Hannah was younger, she's now going to be 26. That was when the soy formulas were like, oh, here's the perfect natural alternative to dairy based formulas. And it was the soy. And now looking back, and functional medicine is saying, hey, that was GMO soy, that was modified soy that can lead to cancers down the road, that can lead to basically, it's like a synthetic, you were giving your child like a synthetic hormone. It's like, oh, yay. Hey, Rogue Gunfighter, peekaboo to you too. Gave meds to make it stop and go away, but didn't. That, there you go, Anne. I think you're onto something. If he had that, then he needs probably an endocrinologist to look into his hormone levels and things like that. He probably does. And even with my mom who had a hysterectomy and I watched her health kind of go down the tubes, she also had a parathyroid issue. She had one that was enlarged and deformed, but never had it removed. And they basically were like, oh, yeah, just take vitamin D for that high calcium in your blood and take your B vitamins. Yeah. And after her first stroke, oh, just continue on the baby aspirin. That was all they gave her. So she had a second, and then she had a third. It was after the second that I fought with the doctors and said, do you think there's something else going on that she's continuing to have all these strokes? Can we address it? Because by then it was really kind of too late. It was going into vascular dementia. Yeah. Thanks, Rogue Gunfighter. I don't know who that might be in the side chat, but hey, good for you, girl. Yeah. Oh, who was he? Endocrinologist. They're the ones who deal with the endocrine system. And that system, if it is disrupted, can throw off all your hormones, can throw off where you hear people talk about burnout. Shawnee, if you're in the background. Help me out because the word is not coming to me at the moment. You're like an adrenal burnout, but it's more than that usually. It involves. Okay, hold on. Let me pull some of my little bit of stuff that I wrote down. Your endocrinologist usually is dealing with it's adrenal burnout. Uh, your adrenal glands, your testes, ovaries, if you're a woman, and there's I can't say that tissue. I'll hit on that next week. That's why I need to study pancreas, liver, heart, kidneys, parathyroid, thyroid, thymus, hypothalamus, pituitary, and your pineal gland. And a lot of people are saying, that what they're hitting us with and the environment and everything is causing like our pineal gland to shut down. And that's in charge of like the hypothalamus, and the pineal, I believe, is in charge of it all. Thank you. Adrenal fatigue. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And cortisol, if it's high, can definitely, if it's not just high, if you don't have any, that was my issue, was my adrenals were so burnt out. It was barely producing cortisol to calm the system down. And my system was just going haywire along with, the fluctuations of hormones. Oh, thanks, Steph. Appreciate it. Oh, I just realized something. Shawnee, I don't have you. Hold on. So then if you have links or anything, add you. There you go. I'm going to add you in. Appreciate you. Totally appreciate you. But yeah, and I appreciate like the guys stepping in and being cool with being here. I really do appreciate your support because we need it as women. We need that support to say, you go, girls, you go take care of those issues. And, we need that. My cortisol is too low. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad it's getting better. I hope the seed cycling is helping. Baby milk that everyone said is very close to mother's milk. But he grew so fat that at 10 months to put him on a diet. Wow. Huh. I wonder what it was. There must have been something in that milk, huh, Anne? Or something in his system that could not process the hormones in that milk. We might have something that is not processing hormones, like what can happen with our livers are what are taxed the most with the excess estrogens that are in our environment, in our foods and things like that. And if our livers cannot process them and get rid of them, then they build up in the body. Lactogen. I'll look it up. Not right now, but I will look. I'll try and look it up and see. Do they still make it? Do you know, Anne? Because I don't even know if they changed the probably stuff that my daughter was on back then. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need, men supporting us while we go through these changes, and understanding that it's not personal, that we do really feel like crap, that the headache is really a headache. Okay, I'll look it up, Anne, for later. But, we're at 3:25. But I'm going to put in the link. I don't know if, Laura is still in the background. I know she was getting a chip drop, or if anybody wants to come up and, talk about what's been going on. Oh, wow. Just the fat rolls. Well, sometimes they do that too if they're going to be real tall. The babies will fatten up and then whoop, all of a sudden lengthen out. Oh, there you go. Okay. Iron, zinc, and copper, heavy metals. That would be that right there would be a functional medical doctor, and to have a heavy metal testing on him, if that is what the recall was, because people don't know, but zinc is also a metal when they're taking it for their immune system. They're not that they don't know, that they're not thinking it's a metal. And then copper. Interesting. Recall. Okay, thanks for that, Shawnee. Awesome. You're awesome. Oh, he's 6'4". Okay, so yeah, he needed some of that pudging up, and he was gonna just get taller with it. I've seen that with babies quite a bit. Um, my goodness, Hannah petiteed out, but Hannah was part of the percentile where she was a very big baby when she was little. It was funny. Within the first year, she started to get a little bit more petite, but that first year, she was a huge baby for her 5'2" mama. She was born 8'5" and then just continued to get bigger and bigger. She looked so little, like in the pictures, of course, when I look back, but I remember holding her in a picture, and she just seemed so ginormous next to me. And then it was after that first year. Oh, go figure. Guess what? What happens after that first year? Mama's in the side chat. They go off formulas. They usually try and put him on milk. Oh, he was that big you couldn't carry him. Wow. Wow. That's a big baby. Yeah, but it is interesting that like when my daughter did start to petite out was right after she was off formula. Yeah. Yeah, and I can't remember, like at the time, think I don't think she had milk. I think we did water and maybe a little juice, and now like what's in the juices and stuff. I think try organic. We tried like the best that we could get for her. Not knowing, when you're young, sometimes you just don't know. You just are trying to do the best for your kid and you don't know. And sometimes you don't have the money. You just are trying to feed them and get them fed and full. Right? Yeah. I felt that way too with her when she was like all nice and full, because those first 2 weeks I was breastfeeding, but then she ended up back in the hospital with a fever, and they scare the crap out of new mothers. They spinal tap my baby. They were like, that is one of the fluids that we have to take. And she had run a fever, and they put it on the mother like, well, if you don't let us, she could go home with you and die. I'm a brand new first baby mama. Here's my little 2-week-old baby, and you're telling me I could kill my baby because I won't let you test her. Ugh, kills me still to this day. But thankfully she didn't have it, and within a week of like antibiotics she was released. But I swear it did some damage to her because she was delayed after that. Oh, yeah, I've heard of other women having that issue. You're not alone in that. That's for sure. Well, she didn't want to get off. I couldn't tell if I was making enough milk or not. She would have sat there all day on one or the other. Like putting her on a schedule was very difficult. She was just a hungry baby. But anyway, it is 3:29. Is that right? I swear I thought it was later. Oh, I don't want to reload this. Wait a minute. I am going to put the link in the side chat. I don't know if anybody wants to come up. It's kind of a slow Fri-Yay, but yeah, you're more than welcome to. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just tackle something really quick. Hold up. I got to do a little something, something. Those of you who have run lives, you probably know what I am doing, and my moderators probably know exactly what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. We're set. I am sorry to the people who were not subscribed to me, who just bit the dust. Who want to be, in my life. There we go. Okay. No, I'll just drop it. I had to do that. Put it in subscriber mode. And I think 20 minutes is enough time because I don't know how long I'll be live for, given that I have still mama stuff to do and chores and things like that. Nah! Rogue Gunfighter, you remind me of somebody I know. Like, other than you. Have I, like, known you before on here? Did you have another channel name? No, I'm grateful. It looks like my numbers pretty much stayed the same. Might have been maybe one drop off, but StreamYard and YouTube do this weird thing with those numbers. I'm never really quite sure. I'm trying to think, like, oh, the other thing you can get too from the perimenopausal doctors online is also things for your skin, because your skin does change too. And when you lose estrogen, you lose that, your skin starts to thin out. So then, if you are of lighter complexion, you can start to see spider veining, varicose veining, all that lovely stuff will start showing through more. And at least for your face, they offer the tretinoin. I think I'm saying it right. Tretinoin. It's like a retin-A with it. They make like a compound. It's a retin-A with, or tretinoin with, it's got two other things in it. Aloe, which is just the base. I'm trying to think what it's called because I've used the other one from Just the Ordinary, which helps even out your complexion, but they combined it all and I just started to use it and it's kind of helped. Nope, just the same old. Okay. Oh, okay, Steph. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. You have your band hammer out. You ready? Ready to punish some people? It's all polished up. That's what happened actually yesterday. I was over on Diana's homestead and Crooked Peach and I were in there. And I kept telling her because I could see the little trolleys coming in. Like, how they'll do the lowercase hi. And you go and look their channel up and it's like, yeah, hi there, trolley. And they were coming in and saying little things to her that you knew it was getting trolly. And I was like, please, please, please put a mod in here, put a mod in here. And she got Crooked Peach. Then Crooked Peach was like, and I told her, I said, if you want me to mod, I'll mod for you too. And Crooked Peach is like, yeah, make her a mod. Good thing, because as soon as Crooked Peach said that, all of a sudden her freezer went. Poor woman. One of her freezers died, and she was over there tending to that. And I'm sitting there. Sure enough, like the worst one of the bunch comes in at that moment and was like asking our hostess if she eats. I was like, really? Bye. You can go eat something like dirt. So yeah, I appreciate my moderators so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the background. For those of you in the bushes, like we were saying today on Miss D's and all cracking up. Oh my gosh. I hope Miss D got all her money for today. She was a little concerned with us goofing off if she was going to get, the yield sign. Like there's a little, I guess, yellow mark that they see, or, they sometimes won't get monetized. I hope she got fully monetized for it. I don't think we were too bad. We weren't cursing or anything. It wasn't anything really, really, really bad. But, it's a little, could be taken either way. It was really garden chat. It wasn't super bad. But anyway, these places now that are popping up online are like an answer to prayer for some of these women. Yeah. It is it's family friendly chat right now. That's right. They say that in the I'm over in the bushes. Yeah. Like, I'm watching your chat. I see you. I can't be over there on the other side of the bushes, but I'm over here. I see it going on. Oh my goodness. It's 11. Okay, Ann. I might catch you later, maybe when we're on our late night and you're getting up for your coffee, getting your day started. Thanks for coming in, and I appreciate it. Not in the bushes, just stand out, open, with a menacing look on. That's hilarious. That's right. Tapping your hammer, or you're tapping that bat. Barry the Batman is what I used to call him. Because one time he came online and he was like, had his bat in his hand. Like, yeah, that's appropriate. Yep, I definitely know. Well, if y'all aren't going to come up and chat on my live, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm going to get to what I need to get to here, and I'll let you get to what you need to get to where you are. Although I love spending time with you, I will be having the late night Fri-Yay, and hopefully Miss Diva in the Dirt will be able to make it. She was just telling me that she might have to move up her Saturday because she's got some commitments. One of them is another gig because she's an amazing singer on her Saturday nights coming up. So tonight, hopefully, Maureen will be with us and co-hosting with me. And we will see you then at 11:30 Eastern on my channel. And then we'll find out from Maureen when she's going to move her timing for her Saturday. And then on Sunday night, we go over to Barry's at Storms, Radios, and Cats. And that's going to stay at 9:30 Eastern, Storms, for this Sunday night. But that's where you'll find me. Sunday night is usually Diva's family dinners, so she will sometimes pop in. Okay, Barry did say yes, so 9:30. And if you all haven't checked out Miss T with the T, please do. She is just wonderful. Totally adore her. We have a great time in the mornings. That's 9 o'clock Eastern, I believe, is when she starts. I'm usually running around here after dropping my daughter off for work. So have a blessed day, everybody. I will hopefully see you late tonight on Fri-Yay for the adults, even though I just talked about all adult things, but that's for your health. Go and be in good health then. Talk to you guys later. Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. And Storms is going to be adding a Wednesday live as well at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Cool. Storms. Awesome. I should be able to make that. All right. See you guys later. 11:30. Same place. Different time. Bye, guys. Thanks again. I almost left my